What's going on, everyone? Welcome to my YouTube channel. There are a lot of ways you could spend a Friday night. You could be at the bar, at the club, or even sitting through a stick and ball game, but none of those really excite me. Instead, I spend my Friday nights at the Brewerton Speedway watching the action-packed weekly dirt racing, and have for most of my life. Now, I'm taking you along for the ride. This is a fan perspective weekly series covering the racing action, featuring heat races, feature action, wrecks, battles, point storylines, and everything in between all season long. This is the Brewerton Breakdown.
Oh, that's not gonna be good! Oh my god!
Hello, and welcome back to episode 12 of the Brewerton Breakdown. We're in the final stretch of the 2026 season, with only a few Friday nights of racing remaining at Brewerton Speedway. At this point in the year, every position matters. The championship battles are getting tighter, the pressure is building, and there's very little room left to make up ground. This week, the Mod Lite kicked off the first round of the Beasts of the East Showdown, while the weekly championship battles continue to take shape across the speedway. And as the season winds down, the emotions are starting to rise as well. With only a few races left, we're reaching the point of the season where every lap, every position, and every decision can become part of the championship story. So let's take a look at what unfolded under the lights at the D-shaped Dirt Demon. To start the night, I got to the speedway a little earlier than usual, arriving around 3 p.m. for a fan interview I had planned with Tyler, who made the trip up from Pennsylvania. That interview will be coming out in a separate video, so be sure to keep an eye out for that one. Since I was already there early, I took advantage of the extra time and got some footage of the track work being done, which you saw earlier in the episode. Once the grandstands opened, we headed to our usual spot, and that's when I noticed something pretty cool sitting in the pits. The number 9 modified of Tim McCready. This wasn't just any number 9 either. The car was a tribute to Tim's dad, Barefoot Bob, featuring the recognizable white and orange livery and familiar number 9, which made seeing it sitting there at Brewerton even more special. Tim was at Brewerton using the car for a shakedown ahead of another race that Sunday, and naturally, I had to get a picture. I ended up making a little lighthearted post and tagging the World of Outlaws account saying, "Every outlaw finds his way home. Welcome home, Tim McCready." And apparently, that one struck a chord with people because it ended up getting a pretty incredible response. Then, when hot laps rolled around, I decided to do something a little different. Instead of recording the cars, I pulled out my phone and decided to try taking some pictures. And honestly, I was pretty impressed with how they turned out. I've been wanting to experiment more with photography. Just sitting there during hot laps, trying to get some good shots was actually a lot of fun. Up first tonight are the Mod Lights, as the Beasts of the East Showdown gets underway. Let's take a look at the heat lineups and get into some racing.
Is going to put Benson on the front row of Jack White. Wait a minute. I feel like he'll push up the racetrack line there. Kennedy out of Boone, Iowa. Alex Forcier out of Quebec. Derek Fortino out of West Monroe. Sean Gallagher out of Cape Top 5 transfer to the feature event at Wisconsin. Reach the team comes requiring point here in turn at number 4, Elshewski. Anderson will bring the field to green. Coming out. second fastest in practice. And the tribute car to his dad. Here's what Josh Flanders and Darren Smith, last week's feature winner, will make up the fourth and final row here for Heat 3. Out of this run, 3 on the next one. It might pull your points leader here this year is on the outs right now, but he starts outside of the tail of the field. See what he does here.
Is that one recording too?
Yeah, this one is a hard cam for turn 1. Because I missed the flip one.
Love it. I didn't want it.
Another minor mirror Speedway, twice in the night. Riding a bike. The training wheels are now off, the visor's down, the belts are tight. Here we go. He's gonna put the hoover right against the cush here off the turn 3.
The heats in B-Main have come to a close, and we're at intermission as the teams get their cars ready for tonight's features. This is always one of my favorite parts of the night, because the pace around the speedway changes completely. The racing stops for a little while, but the work doesn't. Teams are making adjustments, checking over their cars, and getting everything ready for the second half of the night, while the track crew gets the surface prepared for the features. And with only a few races left in the season, this is where every decision starts to matter just a little bit more. The heats are behind us, the features are still ahead, and now it's time to get ready for the championship battles that are about to unfold.
You're up there in the first, and that's the two up there. Beautiful on the track, kind of jealous of it. But, sir, we're going to send him right back to the field up there. Is that okay? If he doesn't answer me, we're going to start thinking, go. AmeriCU starts on Lite, east to the East Showdown, presented by One Group Insurance. They'll reach the outside on the restart pass with Anderson. He is outside and native off the speedway. We'll see the green flag at the East Comfort firing window here in turn 4. 8 laps in, quick math takes us to 17 to go. Lite on this restart. 600 watts to his outside. His best pace car impression.
you're off, how long this can come back and you're out everybody. Be able to have a win like that. So I'm happy to be able to go out and 25 hours. Not being probably it looked really good out there. You took that lead, never wanted to give it up. That was very impressive. Like I said, first race is first, man. You're going to see it big play falling forward, right? Yeah, my plan coming out here was to rip the lip off. I got to really get confident on the bottom and felt great. Well, what's good? What's that for getting good? I got about a full crowd. That's awesome. All of the fans, PSO guys, big race product, 39 really plumbing, quality steel. I could go on and on. Everybody needs to talk. Well, we can be here tonight to see tomorrow, folks. But in the meantime, we're going to get some pictures to the back up to my friend Adam and that.
Thank you very much, John. Yeah. The Tracey Road equipment modified dark green once again on
No, you didn't.
Motorsports, DC Performance, FX Cabrera, and Denver Racing Shop, Scott Jeffries Performance, number 12. Capitalizes from the misfortune of others to go back to back for his third win of the year and increases his points lead over RB3 in the process. Looking for his first career Brewerton Speedway Track Championship, did himself some favors here tonight. He can hear you now, big and loud, tonight's feature winner, Darren Smith. Darren, back to back, can you believe it?
Oh my God, the middle of that race there, I was just, stuck in traffic. I'm like, I'm just going to park on the bottom and hopefully something, opens up. And then finally got a caution. No bunch to back up and kind of let it get strung out a little bit there. But holy crap, I didn't think I was going to win that one. And then, I'm not sure what happened getting to the one with Johnny, my brother. I'm like, holy shit, second. And Scott's up there, gives me the signal, and he won that race. He said bottom down there, down to one, and then fucking rip it out to 3 and 4, and that's what we did, and man, it worked out.
That was, I said it on the broadcast like twice, that was the weirdest Brewerton Speedway race we've had all year, because no one could go anywhere, and at one point you're sitting 11th on a restart, and you managed to just take off like a rocket ship and make your way to the front. I know, little misfortune between, Ronnie and your brother, but you got to be there and capitalize. And just that takes you to that path a little lead.
Well, first off, this track is a hands down. I think it's all year. I mean, we had a really good. I felt really good. It's just, they're 3 wide in front of you. You can't do anything about it. And once we got some clean air, I knew we had a big car under it. Like I said, Scott walked through how to win that race. But it felt like, when I'd come up here with my dad and watch Billy and all them guys, they could be 11th on lap 22, and next, they pull out a win. So it's awesome.
You definitely did it. What do you want to say?
I got to thank Specialized Development, SJC Plus, Tiger Racing Shocks, BC Performance, Cabrera, Harley Davidson all year, and then, the crew, Scott, Noah, Tyler, and Drew, even though he was sleeping half the night tonight in the toter. And then my mom and dad, my old football coach from high school is here, Coach Brown. Yeah, this is awesome.
Congratulations, Darren Smith goes back to back, increasing the points lead. We need
Check out that
Like
leader.
race car like that. And ask everybody to stay away from the fence. He can hear you now. Give it up for the mighty Quinn Wallace. The CMD Enterprises, Jacobson Farms, New Haven Building Supplies, Strong Lubricants. 31B, I'll let the car owner get in here first. Well, Quinn Wallace, we'll sneak you over here. We want to get you in front of this victory lane sign. Congratulations. It's a long time coming.
Oh man, you don't know. I've been trying to win one of these Sportsman fields here for 7 years now, and never got teared up in a car, but this one's special.
Meant a lot to you, and this car was a rocket ship. It looks like this combination between you and Ryan have been really something special here this year.
Yeah, for sure. 4 years ago today, I actually got my last Sportsman win over at Brewerton Speedway, so I said, well, it's been 4 years, you better get it done tonight.
And indeed you did, and held off all comers. What has been the key to the speed this year?
This car is special. We really haven't changed a whole lot since we took it out of the box this year, but me and Ryan made small tweaks, and you got to thank Scott Murphy a lot. He kind of tweaked the doctor for me this week, and said, well, we're out of the point, so it's to work.
What do you want to thank?
I gotta thank my mom first off, my shoulder, the Enterprises, Matt Severance, Severance Property Services, Larry Hatter, Matt Hatter Racing, Max Hills, Mark Yorker, Matt Yorker, and there's really a lot of people I'm forgetting right now, but I appreciate everyone's helping.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
He's shaking, it means a lot, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up for the mighty Quinn Wallace. Ryan Dolbear, car owner, you know the 15 laps to late. Here we And that's there's Doc. Doc, take it away.
Well, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, our feature winner tonight is the second time winner for the year here at Brewerton Speedway, driver of the 113 in RL Cleaning Service, Mr. Nate Powers. Nate, that was one heck of a race. I sat there and waited and waited and waited. Finally got it, buddy. It was so hard to be patient and not hit the gas so hard without spinning the tires. And you know, you're racing against Chris, and all these guys are good. It's just so close. And I was just trying to get my motor iron wound up, so I could not spin the tires on the top side. And I can't believe I got Verdict on the last lap there. He just slipped at the bottom. I was just trying for the bottom, but like Chris went there, so I tried, and I had to run the top. Well, you look really good out there. It's an impressive race. It's good to see somebody out there that's just out there for once. But you brought you here tonight. I think you're so lucky. My wife, Chris, my son, all the guys at the shop, Dad called me today. We didn't get until after 5. I had alternator go bad. Cooling system went bad over the week, so it's been a rough week. Circus trailers, R&L cleaning, necessary lumber, A&B laundering, warehouse waters, new designs, I'm having asphalt maintenance. I don't know if there's somebody. This thing's property sales, service, I'm out there construction. Everybody, I missed you. Well, ladies and here, Mr. Adam up there. It was great tonight to see you out there working with you once again, and we're going to return the mic right back to you, my friend.
Thank you very much. On behalf of track owner John O'Leary White, General Manager Corey Reed, and Nicole Fox, fantastic characters here at Brewerton Speedway. I want to thank each and every one of you for joining us here tonight. I know there's a lot of things you could have done, so like we hope you were entertained here this evening. I know we were.
And that's going to do it for this week's Brewerton Breakdown. Before we wrap things up, I do want to apologize for not having the championship points updates in this week's episode. I know that's become a big part of what I try to bring you every week, especially with the season getting down to these final few races. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get those updates together this time around, but we'll be back on top of the championship picture next week as these battles continue to unfold. Thank you as always for watching, supporting the page, and following along with me as I continue to build this into something more than just recording the races. And as always, the beast sleeps again until next Friday when we wake him up for battle again. TM signing off.